Welcome back to another episode of Junk Jaw Reseller Podcast. I hope you're having a wonderful day out there. My name's Jay.
And I'm Ray.
Welcome back to another episode, guys. Now, we love when you keep coming back. And we're going to introduce a whole new episode. And Kenny, what is that episode? Segment in our podcast?
Pick
my price. Guys, pick my price. And here's the rules of the game. We're all going to... Say no? Oh, no. The rules of the game. We're all going to pick something up that we don't have listed in our eBay stores. We're going to show it off, tell you what it is, kind of describe it, show you the pictures, the years, little things, maybe something's wrong with it. And then I want you guys to go into your own eBay stores, get a comp, and put down in the comments, what do you think we would list it for, or what would you list it for? And we haven't listed it yet, so we're going to kind of do the same thing. So we're going to get started here. Ray, you go first.
All right, I'll go first. So I picked this item just because right before we started recording, I had actually started looking up comps, and there's not many out there. There's no actives of this exact one, but if you go into research on eBay, like the Terror Peak, it does show some, but none of them are even brand new. So I have the box here. I'm taking them out of the box, but look at these dad shoes, man.
Everlast.
Look at
baby.
these dad shoes. So they're, Everlast. What are they? Everlast Jeffersons, right? So the only ones I seen on eBay were a black pair. That the ones that were active were a black pair, and they weren't even brand new.
Are yours brand
new?
So yes,
I have. Yeah, these are brand new. I still have the box. They still have the stuff inside. Never worn. I have no idea. The crazy thing is, I'm gonna say this. I thought Sears went out of business. I thought they were done, but apparently I was doing some research because these came from Sears. They still have the Sears packing stuff on the inside for the shoes. But Sears actually, their website has two sizes. They have an 8 and a 12. So these are 10 and a half. They have an 8 and a 12, and that's the only ones they have left.
Really?
They still have two pairs.
What size is yours?
Yeah. 10 and a half. And they're wide. I should include that too. Wide makes a big difference a lot of times too. You can get a little bit more sometimes.
So guys, go ahead and take a second and go ahead and look at that this comp, see what you would comp it at, write it down, and oh yeah, so 10 and a half Jeffersons. Write that down, Tell us what you would do. I could tell you. So what are you going to put them at?
Well, I want to hear from you guys first.
Yeah, don't you want us to guess?
I would go I mean, Everlast is not a big time shoe. There's a comp for one shoe of $49. I would do $75.
My first instinct was $39.99, but you know what? I'll go my first instinct.
If I think Ray's going to list them, I think Ray's going to list them at $99.99.
Actually, no.
Oh, that's right. What Ray's going to list them at? So it's about $189.
So I'm high. You think I'm...
Yeah.
Now, Jay, you're actually higher than what I thought. I was thinking. I was thinking around the $60 range, like $60 or something like that. Because so the ones that are on Sears sold them for $30. So, and they only have two left, but yeah, I could get maybe a little more premium. If somebody loves Everlast, they need the 10 and a half, not just the 10 and a half, but the 10 and a half wide. They might be willing to pay up a little premium for these dad shoes.
Because there might be shoes that they can only really wear. They can't really fit. So, I mean, I like to sometimes when there's not much around, dictate the price. So, 70, I would say go a little higher only because there's nothing.
I
you
can
always lower it.
I can't go up.
Right.
I can't go up.
It's not like, you can trickle it down, do the trickle down effect. But yeah, okay, guys, what would you have said? Leave it down in the comments. Now it's Kenny.
Honor system. So, my item
Screen.
is the Atari Flashback.
Okay.
110 games. It's the mini, reproduction system of the Atari. It's technically open box. It was missing the HDMI cord. I'm just going to replace it with a new HDMI cord. It don't really matter. So basically, it's complete. Box is in great condition. All the stuff is basically brand new. It doesn't look like anybody even played it. It came from the Family Dollar. When you scan this, there was 13 listed and 12 sold. So 100%, almost 100% sell-through rate. Everybody, put down in the comments. Put the timestamp. We'll know. Honor system here, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think I'm going to list this for? I will list this for.
So I'm gonna say I just listed an Atari Flashback Portable or whatever this past week, and I think I only listed that for around $30. So I'm thinking this is a little bit more than that. I want to say that, but it's weird because the comps are all over the place. The most recent comp is very low. It's lower than my $30 portable.
But there's higher ones too.
Yeah, and then the highest one is like out of the park. But then
I gave you a hard one. What do you think I'm going to list it for though?
All right, I think you're going to list it for $35.
I think he's going to list it for $40.
So you want me to tell you who's right?
Yeah,
James is right. I was gonna list it for $39.95.
That was close. I was off by $5.
Yeah.
Or what?
Nice. Good. What would you guys have said? Leave it down there in the comments. Me, here I got one.
Yeah, we gotta see Jay's.
Wow. Everybody see that?
G.I. Joe.
Yep, one of the
Figure
originals.
box.
1982. I want you to take a look at that. 1982.
Wow.
Everybody see the back. There's a little coming off a little bit. I mean, I can use some sticky. I'm going to open this up. It has the crossbars on this side to hold them in. The one thing you're missing on this side is a crossbar. You're missing 2 crossbars on this side. The 2 crossbars on this side you're missing. Other than that, it's all in good condition. Like I said, just in the back has a little bit of come up. I mean, this can be glued down, but if not, whatever. 1982, I believe this is the first hard collector's case. It has the first run of G.I. Joe on it. So keep in mind, it's missing 2 crossbars.
I got mine. Yeah, I got mine.
I'll go first. I'll just take a guess. I'll just take a wild guess in the dark. Like I said, I didn't even look anything up. $50.
How about you, Rick?
Okay. I'm thinking 20 just because of the condition. That's the main reason why.
I would do 20. I was going to do $24.99. That's exactly what I was going to do on it. And another thing is what's shipping. But I would do $24.99. If it didn't sell at $24.99, I would lower it. I think the it's between $20 and $24.99. I think that's
like if it was mint, you definitely would be getting more. Well, and I don't like the word mint. I hate the word mint, and I just.
But it's not mint, and it's missing and it doesn't have the crossbars. The 2 crossbars on the other side. That's where the.
Do you have any GI Joes from that year? I have just throw in just like an extra.
Well, I don't. I got to find them, but I have every 1982 run of GI Joe, every one. Yeah. I'm ordered, right? But I just pulled that out. I want to just show you guys a couple things. Two that was in the box. There's Sergeant Slaughter's file card.
Yep.
There's Snake Eyes file card. And then a G.I. Joe, like AK-47 or whatever it may be. It's probably worth about $10 or $15, whatever. But
well, definitely let us know in the comments, guys. What do you think it should be listed for, that G.I. Joe box?
What should we list it for? Well, guys, I say let's just get right into it. We're here today because we're going to be talking about Whatnot and how to build Whatnot for more sales. Yeah. So, actually, what are your guys' first thoughts on Whatnot altogether when that platform came about? What's your thoughts? What was your thoughts on it? Like, man, this is great. I can't wait. Or was it like, it's changing resale altogether?
I'm gonna be real short and just say, at first I was very excited. I thought it was going to be the next big thing, and I still think it's pretty big, but I was excited.
You was excited, and why?
Yeah.
You was excited. What made you not excited?
It's not as easy as it looks. So, but a lot of people have a lot of success on it, so I'm still interested. It's on my radar. I know you guys have had a little more success than I have, but that's just like my initial thoughts, like, because that's what you asked for. That's what I was providing. I think it's still a great idea. I love the idea of it. It's just a little bit difficult for me. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But what about you, Kenny? What was your initial thoughts on it?
I'll tell you, my initial thoughts are basically the same as they are now. I was excited about it. I think it's it's basically the Twitch of reselling. Just like anything, consistency is probably key. It has different challenges than, say, like eBay or just run-of-the-mill reselling, because you have to have a dedicated space that looks the part and looks a certain way. When you're selling online, generally, you could just have a room filled with bins and you're perfectly fine, right? So basically, you're mixing content with reselling. So there's some rules you have to follow to actually be successful in it. Again, the consistency, building up an audience, constantly bringing in new merchandise and stock, because again, you sell a lot faster on things like Whatnot. The auctioneering process, you have to be sociable to a certain extent. Oh, excuse me, I've been working since like 5 o'clock this morning. But you have to constantly do this over and over and over again every day, basically, if you want to build your audience up. And once you build that audience up, once you build that customer base up, it will start becoming easier. Again, it's just a new set of rules. You have rules on eBay and you have rules on Whatnot. There is some crossover, but let's be honest, not a lot. It's not a lot of crossover. To find success on Whatnot, you're going to have to do a few different things. And I'm pretty sure we're going to expand on that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I wrote down a few things we're talking about. So when you get in to start a Whatnot, you got to treat, like we said in last episode, you have to treat everything like a business, and you have to do it as such a business. And in businesses, you have to learn how to market yourself and treat it as such. I'm not just a human. I'm just doing the side business. That's what you got to do. So basically, you have to optimize everything that you do. So I wrote down a few clear distinctions. You should pick a clear, niche-focused username. Your username has to be there, and it has to kind of explain a little bit about yourself in that little username. If you pick something like Johnny B Rules and you're selling I don't know, baby diapers. That's a terrible.
Or
Yeah.
Shama Dama Ding Dong.
Terrible.
Some weird name.
You should use high quality profile pictures and banners for yourself. You know, when you put in a picture of yourself or a picture of your logo of your business, make sure it's high quality. Make sure it's just not garbage. Make sure when people see it, it looks like you took care in yourself, that you worry about your business. Because when your customers see that you worried about your business, they feel more confident buying from you. I mean, they do. I mean, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how you guys, when you put your banners up or anything in your eBay stores, or you put anything out, you worried about the quality of, I guess, your product, right? Because you want your customers to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you write a strong bio in there, so the customers get to know you. I mean, that's number one. I mean, a lot of times, you know, when you're selling face to face, a little different. You get to know, you have more time, you know, one on one with each customer coming in. Kenny and I know that strong at the flea market. Now, online, like Whatnot, is like an online flea market, except for, you know, you can boost your prices and everybody's bidding on one items. But for them to get to know you, you'd like to have a strong bio. So when they go in there and they see what it is, they know a little bit about you and what you're doing. You know, are you giving 10% to a nonprofit agency, and we're doing this to help families in need, or we're selling this because we're trying to build a business, and the business is, you know, based off of something that happened to my father years ago, and we're just trying to make the magic happen. I don't know. I mean, it could be anything. Add your social media links. It's another thing. You know, like Kenny was saying earlier, you know, a lot of times when you're doing this stuff, there's content behind it. So your media links, I mean, it can grow that business, and you see it when, you know, you have, you know, cash to trash, trash to cash, or anybody who's on YouTube, they add their social media links into things. Harry Tornado, look what he's built. I mean, he's brought YouTube over to Whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's your virtual business card. Use it.
Absolutely, it's your virtual business card, and you can grow in areas.
Well, not just that, you're really selling content.
Absolutely.
At that point, at some point, you know, not everybody on Whatnot, but a lot of people are, you know, they're selling Whatnot. That's why they have a tip system. That's why they have people that will overpay and just run the price up above market value. That's why, you know, people will keep coming back just to see and hear you and how your content actually looks, regardless of your merchandise. Now, don't expect to have, you know, crappy merchandise day one, but once you build an audience, you know, you can get away with, you know, some lackluster products. You know, look, ATH Dave, he does Whatnot. He used to do Whatnot. He did.
Now he's all did.
And he was selling, you know, $1 and $2 plushes and getting $20-$30 sometimes for a junky plush. People weren't wanting that plush. They were buying it because of content. The same way people donate on Twitch or Kick or any of these other sites. You know what I mean? Or YouTube. It's really, you know, you're blending two mediums.
Yes,
together.
You are. Absolutely. And that's another revenue stream. Some like I was saying, people take it from YouTube over to Whatnot. You could take a Whatnot to YouTube to any other platform you like, and use it, and it goes into your advantage.
But I will give people a word of advice. If you're a person that will sit there like a rock, you don't like speaking, you don't like cameras, don't be. I mean, you don't have to be on camera, but you're gonna have to use a camera, right? That's the whole setup. You set up a camera. For the people who don't know, you set up a camera. You start the auction. You show the product. You start the auction, and you try to sell that product, right? If you don't enjoy speaking on camera, if you don't enjoy being on camera, Whatnot might not be for you. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. So if you are going to try it, James was giving you a good, starter basis on what you should do if you do want to try,
right.
online.
That's right. Another thing, when go do it, and you set everything up. Like I said, treat it like a business. You want to make sure you maintain consistent branding of your business, of yourself, and what you're doing. Not one day I'm doing this and then one day I'm doing that. But if you do those things one day, like if you watch pallet pull auctions, they do different things. Everything's thrown in, but they're branded for that. It's not that I'm doing sports cards and then next thing you know I got video games, or I'm doing. The customers can't follow you. You want to have that niche down thing where the customers you have are going to follow you for those things. So another thing is,
See,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Sorry, I wanted to say because that's one of the more difficult things I think I struggle with because, I used to be niche down mostly to sports memorabilia, and then I've expanded. So it's like a lot of stuff it's just a variety of stuff, and it's hard to put. You have to have enough product in that niche, in each of those whatever niche you're going for. You have to have enough product in there and consistently have enough product, not just for that show, but to come back for the following show, maybe in the same week or a week later, if you're going to do weekly and stay consistent. And then you got to have it for the following week and the following week after that. So whatever you do sell on there, you need to make sure you're going to have enough product to keep continuing to come back with the same stuff.
That's true.
Over and over again.
And it's hard to be a part-time whatnot reseller. It really is. Can you actually do it? Sure. But your audience will shrink. The longer you stay away from it, the audience will shrink. It just will. The more you do it, the audience will grow. Right? Because they're going to see that say if you did it every day, again, it's content to some people. They're going to keep coming back for that content. And if you're only doing one show a month, you're not going to have the same results as you are somebody who does one every day. It just.
And another thing before you really start doing your shows is make sure you set up your shipping properly, because if you don't, you can screw over yourself. Learn about shipping, learn about how it goes, and then set it up properly. That's another thing.
Yeah, their shipping is very difficult, so you need to take the time to learn it, because if you don't, you get it. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but you get so many adjustments each week. So if you do have any issues, is it a month? I thought it was per week.
5 a month.
Nope, month.
Yep.
Did they change that?
Yep.
Wow.
But here's the good thing about Whatnot. Whatnot has what they call bundling pricing. So most of the time, your shipment will only cost anywhere from $9 to $10. But as the seller, you have to make sure you hit the correct shipping profiles. So the buyer, if they're buying more than one item from you, them items will be able to bundle together in a single package, and they'll be able to they'll level out the price at $9.12 or $9.21. So your customer will actually get the best bang for their buck, and it's called bundling pricing. Whatnot does.
And then just be cognitive that you want to make sure you keep that seller rating high. As you go and sell, that means make sure you're ready to give that customer service, and make sure that what you're selling them is exactly what you're showing them on that screen, and make sure you do it right, because it matters. So that's a really get all that stuff right before you start. Mm-hmm. Make sure you go into that app and put the bio in. Make sure your pictures are fine. Make sure you have stuff you're getting ready to sell, and make sure you just treat it like a business. That's all right before you start. Now you're ready to start your show. You're ready to go live. You're ready to get it in. Got to have that excitement. Because if you don't have the excitement, people are just going to be like, man, we're gone.
Here's one thing you have to do before you hit that go live button. Always do a test stream. Especially if it's your first time. On the browser and on the phone, it will ask you, are you ready to go live? And you'll be able to use your phone or you have to go do. They'll have tutorials for you if you want to use a browser and a webcam for your OBS. That's a whole nother thing. You can go through a tutorial, and it would probably be just easier instead of me trying to tell you, because there are a few more steps. But if you're using a mobile device, you'll be able to use it. It will ask you if you would like to do a test stream, and that's to test your audio, your video, your setup. Make sure you're not having any technical difficulties. Knock knock. You know, I usually have a lot of technical difficulties, but it will benefit you as a new seller and whatnot to do some test streams, just to get a feel for it before you go live. And say if you had a technical difficulty with your mobile device, say if you, because they will push viewers to you. Say if you had 40 people, you start having technical difficulties, those people aren't going to be able to see or hear you. They are going to leave that stream automatically. You will lose any momentum you had if you don't run test streams.
And when you have that momentum, you want to keep it. Mm-hmm. Now, when you start going live, you need to make sure you schedule your shows consistently. You have to, for any success, you have to be consistent. Listen, your first show, you may not make $1. Just the way it goes. Second show, you may make 1 sale. Third show, you may make 2 sales. Fourth show, you may make no sales again. Fifth show, you may make 10 sales. But you got to be consistent. That's the only way to build that audience up, is be consistent. Be consistent.
And never leave dead air. And for the people who don't know what dead air means if you run out of things to say, just talk about anything. Talk about your favorite TV show, your favorite songs, your favorite music. Talk to the people in chat. Whatever you do, if you started talking, you better remain talking. Because if you go silent, there's a good chance you're going to lose people. Again, it's not like selling on eBay where you can just present the item, present the hard facts, how much shipping is, and the person is either going to buy it or not. It's a different aspect when you're selling online in an auction. There can be no dead air.
Imagine if we just stopped this podcast right now and didn't speak for 2 minutes.
It would be terrible.
That would be like that weird, all right, you guys can go.
And everybody, don't hesitate to watch other people's shows, right? Imitation is a form of flattery, right? So go watch what other people do. Copy their success. You don't have to plagiarize, but yes, go and see how they have their setups. What kind of things they say, what kind of little things they do. Little special games they may play. Little special giveaways. If you are going to do a giveaway, remember, you have to pay for the shipping for that giveaway. But go watch and enjoy some Whatnot streams for yourself to get an idea of what you're actually giving yourself.
Yeah, and there's science behind that. They'll teach you in all leadership classes, and they'll teach you in just in the way, the psychology of a person. That when a person walks into the room and that room is silent, that person automatically changes the way he acts. If a person walks into a room and that room has music playing, it's not silent, that person will change the way he acts in a positive way or stay the same. It's scientifically proven.
I was just going to ask, if there was anything else you guys think that might give buyers a reason to not stay in the show or to leave. And I know you're talking about the music, but you have to be conscious too that some buyers will leave even because of the music, whether they don't like the music you're playing, or some of them I've seen in some comments they say it's distracting. As long as you're talking, I think that's the most important part. But
you can't make everybody happy.
No,
you're going to have people that's going to say that they're unhappy. They're going to put in the chat that they might say they don't like how you have your setup, what you're saying, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
There's forms of criticism, positive criticism, and then there's just negative, useless criticism where people just say things to say things. a piece of advice that I would give anybody and everybody, if you're gonna learn how to talk, go to a Walmart. If you're able to walk through a Walmart and just walk down an aisle, not talking to anybody, but just talking to yourself, in a a general level of speaking, and just speak about nonsense. If you can walk through Walmart just talking to yourself and not care what other people are thinking about you, you should be able to find some success and whatnot. Does that seem odd? Yes, but the truth is, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be able to look at an inanimate object and speak to it. Because you're not going to be able to look people in the eye. You're not going to be able to hide from anything. They're going to hear and probably see almost everything. So, you have to learn how to just operate it, get out of your self-conscious, out of your own brain, because everybody thinks they sound weird. Everybody thinks they look weird. You need to forget that. Everybody sounds like everybody. So it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
You have to just be you.
Another thing, you have something, Ray?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, yeah, but at the same time, so I want to go back to the music. If the music isn't like the type of music you even agree with, like say it's something like you don't like the context of the music or anything like that, or if it's too loud, you don't think that's enough reason for anybody to leave?
I believe it is, maybe, but what you're doing is you're playing the percentage of the people that want to be in there that has the music, because we already know that dead air changes the buyer. We know that most people can't keep speaking to a camera when there's no one in the room. So we know that once you put music on, it automatically changes the buyer for the good, and their perspective holds different. We know that because it's scientifically proven.
So yeah, well, so let's say like the idea is that if you are going to play music, play something neutral. Don't, you know what I mean? Something that's professional, okay? Like something you would go into Walmart or any other retail store around here and you would hear them playing maybe a little bit or something like elevator music even. I don't care. Something that's just neutral.
We don't like gang bang rap music.
You don't
play gang bang rap music.
Unless you're selling 1990s rap albums,
true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah,
you got to play to your audience sometimes.
Because that sends us into that other thing. Have a theme to your show. Have a show theme. That go with the music. I'm selling 1990s 1990 rap t-shirts. I'm selling 1990s clothing that does that. And I'm going to play 1990s music. And some of that stuff's going to have Snoop Dogg in it. Snoop. That's right. Bone and Biggie, baby. And that's what it's going to have to be. I mean, it really is. I mean, think about it. But, let's play that percentage. And we're not going to get you, you might not get scholarly people coming in there buying it. And guess what? It's not, because it's not formulated towards them. It's formulated to the buyers who take that stuff.
Again, you're
never going to make everybody happy.
No, not. I think as long as you're right. Like if you're kind of stylizing your show towards your clientele, you know what I mean, towards your customers, your customer base, then you're fine. But if it's like a generic show and it's just like something that it's a wide variety of stuff or something like even just regular clothing, you don't want to play that type of music. If you got to always move with the theme.
Always move with the theme.
Kind of curate the show and to that.
Well, that goes back to understanding your customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. Let's be honest. You're not gonna find 75-year-old nuns buying vintage T-shirts. It's just not gonna happen. So you don't have to worry about like so much offending people. Say if you did put rap music on.
Well, wasn't there just a nun rapping like months ago or something? That's a bad example, right?
Yeah, probably.
No, generally, I don't know any other nuns that were ever rapping, but there was one recently that went viral.
But
Yeah.
no. That's yeah. I know she wasn't rapping like Tupac. Or maybe she was.
I forget what she was. Now I
I
gotta
don't
look
know,
it
but
up.
and then when you're doing your show, make sure you like pin items together. Make sure there's some success with some people taking the pictures of the items and putting them down there for sale. So you know what's next in your auction block. I mean, I've done it and not done it all at the same time. Also, have a co-host at most times because people like two people together, and that changes. Make sure there's no dead air. One can talk. If one runs out of something, they can play together on in each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they also can lend a hand on keeping that show moving.
Also, it's sometimes it's very hard. It's it's Black Diamond. It's more advanced to be able to speak and operate your phone or your computer so you can set up the next auction item, right? So remember, again, like James says, when you have a second person, one person can be a partial speaker while the other person's the main speaker. The partial speaker is loading up each auction, right? So everybody has their part to play. So, if you do have a second person, have them primarily just being the host. And you be the co-host, and you operate the auctions. Or vice versa. You know what I mean? There is going to be a learning curve. Like James said earlier, you may not sell anything your first show. You may be talking to nobody. Guess what? Keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep talking. Because the more you do it, the more you get used to doing it, and the easier it will become. Because there is a learning curve. This goes out to the people who've never spoken to a camera before.
Imagine everything you do. It's a muscle. Everything. It doesn't matter what you do. You have to build that. You have to build the muscle of being able to talk to people when there's no one there. You have to build the muscle and let me do auctions where I may not make any money. You have to build the muscle. Anything you do, when you do it repeatedly, you get stronger and better at it. Just is.
Yeah, because I mean, and don't get deterred if that first or second show, wasn't a great success, right? Because me and James, especially, we've made so much content. We've spoken in front of cameras for years. So us talking to you this now, you've never done this before. It's going to affect you a little bit. You're going to have some self-conscious things about you. You're going to have some ideas in your brain thinking like, what do I look like? What do I sound like? And worrying about what those things you shouldn't worry about. You're worrying about them in the back of your head while you're trying to work. It may just devastate you. And I don't want that to deter you from continuing down the path of trying Whatnot. Because I do actually enjoy Whatnot. Do I do it as much as I should? No, because I'm usually busy doing other things. But I actually do enjoy doing Whatnot, right? Like, I wish I had the setup to do it every day as I used to. Again, you get stuck doing other parts of the business, and it takes you away from it. It wasn't in my forefront. And even I need to change that thought process and start building my Whatnot audience a little bit better.
Yeah.
A little bit stronger.
Also, make sure your backdrops when you're doing your shows is conducive to your show, because it makes a whole lot of opportunity open. Say if you have shelving back there and you have things that future products or stuff that really wows these people. They're in the background. They're trying to look. They're trying to pay attention. And then you just kind of tease your future shows. Some of these Switch games, some of these special editions are going to be in our next show. Gets people excited. Bookmark that show. Make sure you bookmark it. Follow me. I need more followers. Share this. Share that. Share this. Getting your audience involved in everything that you do. and make sure you stay excited and you stay on point. Those are the things that we need, especially when you're doing a live show. Yeah, practice in front of a mirror if you have a problem. Make sure you do.
No, I like that tip about letting people know of your next show while you're on that show, because I think that's one thing I hadn't done. I mean, because people are going to bookmark it. Like, you know what I mean? You want people to bookmark it. It's hard to get those bookmarks. It's difficult. Just because you have your show out there doesn't even mean anybody's going to bookmark it. So, sorry to cut you off, Jay, but I want to make a point also, because, you know, how do you get people to bookmark your show? Like, how? Like, what's the way you get people to bookmark your show?
So, way I used to get people to bookmark my show is you do a video of what you're selling. So you do a capture video, not just a picture or looking at me like this. I mean, they work. Some of those work great in, you know, certain niches. But say if I'm doing video games, I like to go across, and if I got bangers, people can see bangers. When people see banger video games, it automatically shoots their desire up. I need bangers. I can come here and get a great deal. That shifts more people to your stream. Not only that, like I just said, talk about future shows, show them some examples of what you're going to have in your show, and make sure your shows are on point, on date, on time, and you're there, and that's what's going to bring more people bookmarking your shows.
And make sure your title tells about your bangers. So if you have 32X, Sega CD, and Atari Jaguar games, and you're also selling PS1, PS2, and PS3 games, make sure you tell people about the Atari Jaguar, 32X, and Sega CD games first in that title. You know, the most expensive stuff you put out front, but when you go to actually run your show, keep the higher dollar items, you know, in the middle or end of the show to keep people locked in, you know. Because if you sell your higher dollar items out, sometimes the people will just, you know, they'll just run out of the show quickly. You know, so you have to actually log your show as if you're trying to keep the people's attention as long as possible. Because let's be honest, people have a short attention spans. So, you know, that's why clips, and that's why, you know, reels and shorts and TikTok, that's why it does so good. It works against the short attention spans. Unless you got something somebody wants, and they have to wait for it. You know? So try to think of it up the point of like, hey, think about it from the perspective of the buyer. If somebody has something you want, and say they're selling 10 items, and if the first thing they sold was the thing you wanted, would you still stick around? Probably not. You might, but you might not, right? So, you know, think about it as, you know, at least educate yourself on what you're selling anyway. So just know that, you know, the $10 PS2 game is not going to be as valuable as, like, you know, a Neo Geo game, right? Like, it's just not. That's just not it. You know, so set up your show accordingly, and then when you pull up each item, you know, recognize, you know, and have a, you know, a program. How am I going to set this show up? What am I going to sell first? Is it going to be the PS1 games, the PS2 games, the PS3 games, and so forth and so on? Yeah. And, you know, and set up your show and have a script basically built in your head for how this show is supposed to turn out.
But I also think you need to be conscious of how many people are in your show, because if you don't have that many people in your show, you might run it a little bit differently. You're not going to do it the exact same way. There might be some things you don't even want to run because there's not enough people in there that are going to have the interest, and you don't want to completely just give it away. So you need to be conscious of how many people, like if you have, say, a request, somebody's seen something, you only got one person asking for that. You're starting all your items, say, between $1 and $5, whatever it is. That's the generic thing. Like, you might be like, hey, you might want to even say, hey, I'm not doing this one at a $1 or $5 start. Like, start at a different price. Do not be afraid to do that just because you don't want to just generic, to me, you know what I mean? If you only have one person interested or requesting that, and you only have 10 people in your show, you're likely probably not going to get too many more bids, if any, after that one person. So you need to like it's almost like reading a room. Like you're seeing how many people are in there. You know, be conscious of that. I don't know.
Yeah, don't be afraid not to run something.
Yeah,
What
I
you're
don't
saying
think.
is if
Yeah,
you only have 3 people in your show, and what 2 people are kind of battling back and forth, but they're not really raising the price up as much as you would like it. Don't be afraid not to run that high dollar item. You know what I mean? Are you going to actually get what you want out of the item all the time? No. But you also don't want to give it away for free.
yeah, but
So,
like if it's a
don't
50,
if it's a $50 item, you don't have to start the item off at $1.
yeah,
You
and
just
that's what I mean.
don't feel bad doing
Yep.
that. Don't feel bad not even running it. If you feel that it's going to sell for really low, put it away. Save it for another show. Save it for next time. Because you want to at least try to get something out of it. You're not going to get every dollar, but you're going to at least want something out of it.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, you're not going to get every dollar out of it. That's the point. Whatnot is not an every dollar platform. It's not going to happen. That's why consistency builds up how many people can come and see you, and that's going to build up how much more money you're going to get out of the object. So that's how you get more money from your object, is having more people come into your shows and wanting the objects you have. And when that happens, make sure you celebrate every single sale that comes along. Thank you, Teddy, for buying this. Congratulations, you just won it. Congratulations, you congratulate them. You beat out everybody. And then you make sure, when you talk to these guys, you make sure that there is an urgency for them to buy it. You got 10 seconds. You better jump on this. Look at the price. This is a $40 item. It's going for $21. This is a steal. 10, 9. Somebody's going to get it. And, Johnny jumped in. He's at 25 right now. What have you got? Oh, man. You're not going to get the $40. The item might be $40, but you might sell for $30. But you just created urgency because they feel like, I'm going to miss out. And let them know, you're going to miss out on this. You're never going to find another copy of Ratchet and Clank busting nuts. You're just not going to do it for this price. So now we know that. And another thing, we talk about getting your more sales on it, more eyes on the object. List your item before your sales. Make sure your pictures are great. List your item, because there's people that maybe have to be in another show because they're buying Xbox games. You're selling PS2 games, but they still want PS2 stuff, and they see you got a PS2 game that they want. They can come in, do some pre-bids, and then it'll come up as you're getting ready to run that object. So when that happens, you have pre-bids, you get ready to run an object. You let them know you're getting ready to run an object. Bring that object to the forefront. Don't start it yet. Gives the people the opportunity, time who pre-bid, to come back in to the show so you can run it and they can bid with everybody else inside the show. So that's a tip. Make sure you do that. Because if not, you get stuck. People pre-bid. It sends them over a notification, but if they don't get the time, they're bidding on something else, they can't get in the show. You messed up. So,
yeah.
And like James was saying, you got to make it. Everybody's gonna make everybody want that. That NES Top Gun cart only, missing half a label video game, right? And build that up and like throw it in their face and like you said, make urgency to that, because again, Whatnot's not eBay. You're selling content sometimes. Sometimes people will buy stuff just because they like who you are, just because the way you react and way you act to them and react to what they're saying.
Yeah.
And you say their name out. And you make them feel like a winner because they won the auction.
Winner,
like,
chicken
be
dinner.
Excited for them, because you can't either. Like you can't physically see their excitement, so be excited for them. You know what I mean? They just got a heck of a deal, or even if they got like market value, be excited, because you should be ecstatic that this person chose to buy something off you regardless of the price. You know what I mean? Do not show Like if you didn't even get the price you wanted, do not like show any negative like body language or say, oh, I wish I should have went for more. Do not say anything like that to that matter.
Oh no, absolutely! You tell them you should have went for more. You say, nah, you some bitches, you broke ass bitches. What the hell's wrong with you? You better open your wallets up. You see what you're missing out on? You see this Atari flashback, and you guys just spent $5 on a $40 item last time. You see this? I'm not gonna run it. You're gonna pull the money out of your wallet.
Show me the money.
You ain't pulling your money out. I'm not gonna run it.
That's a little bit different than what I'm saying. I mean, like don't act like completely disappointed and sad that you didn't get the price. Like, you're
you gotta let them know.
Yeah.
Let them know you're disappointed. I'm disappointed in you.
Guys, you're supposed to be, yeah.
Chat, I am disappointed in you,
I'm
Chat.
here for you every week.
Why ain't you...
Dude.
Chat, why ain't you buying my stuff at the price I need?
Yeah, now you want to want me hot dogs? I can't be doing this, Chat. Come on, guys.
This $40 Atari flashback, you're not going to give me $70 for it? You're a bunch of losers. No wonder
I'm bringing you fire every week. Fire every week.
I'm going to come over your house and sexually harass your mother. Every week.
So we got to use. So now we got to use clear, honest titles for what we have. Show all the flaws, so people are not bringing it back. Like, yeah, I spent this money on you for that fire, and you sold me a scratched up disc. The manual's all ripped up, and it smells like cigarette smoke. Be honest, you can't do it.
Be honest, yes. Be honest. Now, you don't have to pick out every single tiny little flaw and go, oh, guys, it's so terrible. There's this little scratch. Say, yeah, there's a little surface scratch, you know what I mean? And just say it out loud and at least make sure they know what they're buying. But you don't have to put your own stuff down and like, yeah, this is junk, guys. You don't want none of this shit. But I'm gonna put it up anyway, But at least be honest. Because, as long as you're honest and you show them on camera what they're buying, they can't really come back and say, I didn't know what I was buying. You knew exactly what you were buying.
Well, I think it's a little difficult. I do want to say it's a little difficult doing that in these short, quick auctions. So, like, I mean, a good tip is, like, maybe just start off describing an item and then, like, especially go over those flaws, any flaws you have, go over them as quickly as possible right before you actually start it. Because once you start it, you might already get bids and then you're going to have somebody upset. Like, what if somebody bidded and they didn't hear you say that? You know what I mean? Like, describe that item as quickly as possible, and show them exactly what they need to hear.
That's why the setup goes like this. Say, hey, this 32X, this 32X Doom game, it's card only. There's a little label damage right here. It's a clean copy, though. There's a little scuff mark here on the back, maybe a sticker right there. And I'm going to start this off at $5. And
yeah, it don't take long to do it. And then not only that, here's the thing. Like, I'll go back to eBay. Is please see pictures for what the problem, what it looks like. And if there's any things I'll show, like, look, it's this.
See pictures
condition.
For reference.
It's a razor knife. Works properly. There's a little mark right here. Boom. Please see it. Yep, we're starting it off. Look, done. I don't need to know. It's not like you're selling a Lamborghini. It's like there's 122,000 miles on the thing. There's this.
Especially if you're moving, right? If you got them people in your show and you started out like that, keep that same
roll.
Same roll. Right?
Don't burn
keep that same content. Don't change your content. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Do exactly what success is, right? If you're finding success in what you're doing,
and then test, like, when you're talking about, you're finding success in what you're doing, you test out different pricing strategies. If you started out at $1, you could start out price, 50% of what it is on eBay, or you can start it. You find your right strategies and how you do, because you're learning the room. Now,
and that's where the education comes in too, because because even though some games actually go for, say if you're selling video games, we use that for example because we sell a lot of video games. Say if some video games go for higher dollar amounts. So even though it goes for higher dollar amounts, sometimes the want for that game, sometimes it's not as much as it would be for another game for the same price, right? So, say an Atari Jaguar game for $50, you may find a PS2 game that's $50 sell way faster than this other $50 game. Not all $50 games are exact, right? They're going to have a higher, sell-through rate, a faster sell-through rate. They're going to have more people who actually want that. So that's where at least having some education in what you're selling comes in handy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if you guys want to sell stuff quick, and that's why we're talking about whatnot, because if you want to sell stuff quick, not always for the highest price, but just quick and get money, this is what Whatnot's for. You know what I mean? Don't go in and think you're absolutely going to get the top dollar, because that takes time. It takes the right buyer coming right along, or not even just the right buyer, because if you're doing auctions, you need multiple buyers to drive it up to that price. So, it's a lot of factors involved, but if you guys want to make quick money, this is the way to do it, guys.
That's quick money. Not only that, we're talking about other money, and I hate to bring it back to, social media or whatever, but it's still branding your business. Make sure you use like QR codes to take you to IG and YouTube to stretch that money out, so those guys come over to you, and then you can also promote your Whatnot shows from IG or from YouTube to have your growing audience come over to there. But just promote it on TikTok. You can promote it on Reels. You can promote it on IG. Whatever it is. But you have, yes,
utilize those links. Utilize the links for your extra $10 or $15 for new customers. The $200 reference fee, reference code for refer a friend or have a friend refer to you. Use your links for social media, like James was saying. Make a video, make a short, make a clip, make a reel saying, hey, I'm having a show come Saturday, the link in the description, blah, 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 and promote the show that way, Do anything to actually share that information, because you never know. Put it on Facebook. You're going to find people who don't know who you are. They're going to go, you know what? I had nothing to do Saturday. And hit that link, and there you go. You got another.
Have your chance for a free giveaway at Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze this Saturday at 2:00. Please join. Hit the link down in the description, and come and join us and see us at the show for your chance. We got it, baby. And she's like, and then the guy's like, Betty, you should see this. Come and take a look at it. This guy in his Orioles hat is about to give away a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And we can get it on Saturday at 2:00. And Betty's like, oh my God, I've been wanting that game forever. You know how much that thing is, Todd? Todd's like, yeah, that thing's like $35. She's like, absolutely is, Todd. So we now hit that link. Calm down, Betty, calm down. I got it all taken care of. Hits the link. Next thing you know, Betty and Todd's in there. And we got everybody coming to see this Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze game. And we're selling more, and we're sharing it, baby. Let's get it.
And then unless Betty forgets to pay the phone bill, then Todd's probably going to smack Betty up. But that's a whole different scenario. That's a whole different episode. That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother scenario, baby. And you know what? You can collaborate with others. Me and Ray, we're about to get it in. Ray's going to bring his people. I'm going to bring my people. And we're going to sell some stained up T-shirts on Sunday at 4:00. And Ray's all about it.
Stink.
You ever think about using like email alerts, text alerts, it's stretching that business because you could have business somewhere else and Whatnot could be just a part of your overall big business. You could just use it as a small part. Whatnot could be a small part, or Whatnot could be a huge part. It's how you want to use Whatnot, how you can manipulate the system. Like I said.
Now, there's like you were just saying, you can use it as a small part, and I think I want to touch base on how there's a lot of resellers I know out there, and this is okay. This is fine because this helps. If you don't have an outlet like this, then it makes it very difficult. But there's a lot of resellers out there that use Whatnot as a way to get rid of some of their older inventory. You know what I mean? If you can do that and be happy with what you get on there and have success with that, then that's great because you're moving product. You're moving your inventory and you can rotate it and get new stuff. You spend that money, go buy something, go and use that money, invest in something else is going to make you even more money.
That's right. I like it. I love it, right?
Don't be like Todd and Betty. Make sure you use those links.
Join seller groups.
Pay that phone
seller
bill.
Groups, forums, let them know what's going on. The more people to see you're going to have something, the better off it all. It's like, how can I show my product out? I got a razor knife. I want to sell this razor knife. The more eyes that see this razor knife, the better off that I'm going to sell this razor knife. That's the same way to show. The more eyes that see that you're going to have a show, the more people are going to come into your show. Now, don't be bringing, I'm selling, Kenny, you talk about Kenny. Kenny sells a lot of pens, but I'm not bringing vintage pens. I'm bringing just regular old pens. I got this little thick ballpoint pen here, and it's running. I'm selling these for $1. Start off $1 a piece. Don't think you're going to have 80 million people in here looking for $1 pen every, Don't bring trash. Bring stuff people like. These are Matata pens, baby.
Dude,
what are you going to do?
Dude, I've seen so many people selling pens lately. You're not the only one, Kenny. There's a lot of people selling pens.
I'll tell you, but I'm the biggest pen seller on eBay, probably.
The pen market is booming.
Business is booming,
I want you to,
baby.
Well,
pens are my business.
Pens are booming, baby.
There's a lot of people have been selling pens, and it's like pharmaceutical pens, and they've been selling them like crazy.
Well,
I've been seeing it come up on my Instagram or whatever, like Facebook.
That's because they're watching Junk Dog Reseller Podcast,
baby. They learned from Kenny the pen seller.
Tell more of a deal.
The
pen
pens.
I'm over here doing it. What is
pen
this guy
pal,
doing?
Yeah, the pen pal.
Hey, I want you to act like you're on TV when you're doing Whatnot. Just act like you're on TV. You're on TV, baby. This is my show. You came to see my show, and be grateful they came to see my show. And
take a couple shots.
Put on a show, baby. You loved it. You came to see me.
Now, with your guys' last show, describe how that went.
Last show we did. We just did. We did some eBay. We did video games, and it went fine.
Yeah.
It went. We sold. We threw some trash games in there, and we threw some better games in there. The trash games, most of them did not sell. Mm-hmm. They just didn't. But the better games did.
Like that.
We didn't do dollar auction starts. We did a percentage of what eBay did, and people who wanted those games, they came and bought them. People didn't, just didn't. And
I think we started off at 50%.
And you know what? If they don't buy it that time, doesn't mean they're not going to buy it again because the right person just didn't see it. You just got to treat it.
Because here's another piece of advice for your Whatnot. If you still have merchandise from one show, you can go in your browser, you can clone items from that show onto a new show, so you don't have to go back and relist everything that didn't sell. You can just clone items from the past show and put it onto a new show and just add more stuff then. So that will save you so much time, I promise you.
Yeah,
I'm so glad they did that.
That's a very good tip because I hate adding stuff. I don't even add pictures. Me personally, I don't. That's probably my struggle. What are you doing?
I'm keeping them. I want them to know what I'm doing. I want them to keep looking. We don't know, baby.
Yeah. Also, I do want to say too, don't be afraid to maybe even add some stuff in your store as buy it now, because that can help. Even while you're not doing a live, people can still buy off you. I love that about Whatnot, because I've actually had some people buy stuff off me, and I didn't even run show for a year, and I had a couple sales even just on there because I left the items on there, and somewhere
and don't feel
within,
bad about setting up tips.
Huh?
Set up your section for tips,
Mm-hmm.
and say, look, like, put like, I need to feed my kids, and beg for tips.
Yeah.
Because look, if people start giving you free money,
Yeah,
that means they like you.
Yeah, nobody ever gives me free money. I guess nobody likes me.
You got to show a little
You gotta
skin,
show
right?
A little skin sandwiches.
How much skin have you shown? When them girls start whistling at you, oh, that's how you get that money, baby.
Guess by whistling at me.
You never know. Woo woo.
Yep.
You got it.
Here, I'm gonna show my knee. As much skin I'll show.
Like, where'd you get that ham hock at?
No,
Boy?
so listen. So we kind of just went over a lot of the basis of Whatnot, how to grow your Whatnot business, and a lot of those things is just doing all the basics. So I think we should go over to each other and do like we did last week. Give five personal or five just picks of or ideas of what you can do. Your top 5. Who wants to go first?
Okay. You want me to go first?
You go first.
I'll go first. All right. Consistency. I feel like, because I think I might have even said that last week, but consistency is always number one. Keep talking. We talked about that. No dead air. Don't. Let's see. See that now. Maybe I should have went first. See, 5 is too long, man.
If you only got 3, just we'll accept 3.
Okay.
Was that your 3?
No, that was only 2. This is awful.
If all else,
well, you want to think about it?
Fails,
you want me to
get
go?
naked on camera.
No. I'm gonna bring back what I said. Do the buy it now, because I know you guys won't say that. So don't be afraid to do some buy it now and have some stuff on there. Even you can drag. The cool thing is you can drag that stuff to your show. Like if it's on your buy it now, you can actually transfer it to your show, and people can buy stuff during the show too. So there's my 3.
Okay. First, don't be afraid to show your ass. Show people who you really are. Have good time. Just don't be afraid to do that, right? Because people, don't you like authenticity? Everybody else does too. Number 2, for the stuff that's not high dollar, don't be afraid that if it sells for a lower price. If it wasn't selling on eBay, if it's not selling at a flea market, and it's only going to sell on Whatnot, and you're going to lose a couple bucks, at least it's sold, right? Like, let's face it, sometimes you're going to sell junk, and if it sells for cheap, go out and buy some more junk, right? Thirdly, always make sure that you continue to speak. And I know Ray already said that, make sure there's no dead air. But even if you're not speaking, play some music for a couple minutes and then jump back in, and change it up that way. Number 4, again, test streams. Always do a test stream, right? Like, it's very important that you do that test stream, because you don't want to try to get momentum and have a technical difficulty and then everything has to shut down. And number 5, always remember, a woman with 2 black eyes, you don't need to tell her anything, because you're already trying to tell her twice. No, but okay, so stupid. Number 5. Make sure you educate yourself. Whatnot has plenty of tutorials and enough, insider information on their websites for you to read up, and they'll actually show you videos, watch YouTube videos on it, read up about it, and they give you a more in-depth, step-by-step way to actually run your Whatnot program.
That's good. Those are good 5s. I'll do a 5. I think number 1 for me is your mindset. Don't get inside your mind so much. Your mind can do a lot of crazy things. They could talk you out of what you're going to do. They could show that it's not worth it. And how do I go about doing it anyway? A lot of times people get in like, I don't want to start my bids at $1, because I have $10 items and I don't want to lose. Well, sometimes you just have to go with it. You're going to have to read your audience, and you might have to sell it for $1 or $2 to get that thing started. You're growing something. It's like YouTube or anything that you're doing. You just don't think you're just going to come in and you automatically have success unless a lot of right key things come into play. Having the right type of inventory and having the right price strategy and just, giving them just the right feels. But don't let your mind get in your way of everything. Number 2, I think you should be high energy for your people. High energy. You've got to also be the show. You're running 2 shows. One show is you, and the second show is your stuff you're selling. I think that is a huge piece. Number 3, be educated on how Whatnot works. Be educated on their fees, how much fees they take from you, how much per thing items you sell fees take away from you, so you know the pricing strategy of how you need to go about doing it, how much you're going to plan on losing and how much you're going to plan on making. Number 3 is knowing, it like kind of backs off on number 2, but what is the shipping strategy on Whatnot, how that works and how that plays into what you're selling. Number 4 is make sure when you sell an object, you ship it fast, and you make sure you ship it with padding. Ship it with care, because those customers are going to look at it, and you don't want to get any type of returns taking your money back from you. That's something you don't want to do. And
well, they you don't technically don't they don't return it to
they
you
take your
anymore,
money
right?
from you.
Yeah, but it goes. That's it. I thought it goes to like Whatnot has a thing where you return it to them, and Whatnot
You gets returned. They take your money. You don't want your money taken from you.
They still take. You don't get the item.
You'll still get the item. I don't know. I've never had a return. So follow
Okay.
what I do. You don't get a return.
They can return.
Yeah.
They can return items too. Absolutely, they can return items too.
I thought it was a hub that you send it to kind of like, and they get Whatnot keeps like, or maybe it just depends on the circumstances.
Number 5, follow what I said, and you won't have a return. I've never had a return or Whatnot. I've had sold thousands and thousands and thousands of items. Never had a return. I haven't.
Not once.
Not once. Never had a
Me
return.
either.
Yeah.
Not once.
So follow what we've told you. You won't have returns. You'll have success. So keep following, guys. I just want to tell you, kind of tip of the day. Don't let your mind interfere with what you're doing. Don't let anybody tell you anything less. You are you, and you can be the master of yourself. Don't be lazy. Get up off your ass and do the work. Guys, we do appreciate you every day coming back to us. Every time, every video, every like, every subscribe. And again, guys, until next week, we'll see you later, and we're out. Bye.
Peace.